What's up, YouTube? Coach 5515 back again with another video. So I'm gonna tell you two stories that that were told to me. One was a subscriber. He was asking about about transporting skinwalkers, and the other one was a story that happened. Well, not a story, but it's an experience that happened just a few days ago. Today is September 6th. This happened 2 days ago on Tuesday. But first, it's the older story that was asked by one of you subscribers. They asked what it was like to transport a skinwalker. I myself don't think I've transported a skinwalker, maybe, but a former employee did, and they told me a story about when he first started. This happened in the Kuchiga area, going up toward Buffalo Pass. There's a road that goes up over the mountain up there. Probably 30 miles. It's about 45 miles from here. 30 to 45 miles. Goes over the mountain. It goes from the road, takes you over into New Mexico. Takes you over into New Mexico, into the Shiprock area. So there was a report of a vehicle versus pedestrian that happened, and the police officers were there, according to the coworker. Police officers got there before the ambulance did. They radioed into the ambulance. They said they have one person that is in back of the ambulance, or in back of their police unit, and the driver is okay walking around. The person that got supposedly hit was in back of the ambulance, or in back of the police unit. So they got there a few minutes later. They got there to scene, and the person got out of the police unit. They got them onto the gurney, got the person into the back of the ambulance, and so the person that was hit, their skin was really pale, and and it was described as like their skin was like latex plastic. Weird kind of, their skin was weird, and like it was this like really stretchy, but at the same time they said it was like that the fake like the Halloween stuff, the masks that are made out of, that's what the person's skin was like. The person that was hit, they were all dirty. Their clothes were all dirty, of course, from being hit. They heavy damages to the vehicle is what I remember him saying. There was heavy damages to the vehicle. It was raining that night, so I guess like the clothes were wet and kind of like tore up. So they took the person's clothes off. He didn't describe like how the person looked, like his face or anything, so we don't know if his face was painted, and they tried to start an IV on the guy. So they tried to start an IV, and the skin just started like stretching. His skin just started stretching, and every time the needle went in, it would miss the vein, and it would start stretching. And they said the veins were really blue. If those of you that work in the in medical field, the veins, when they get all like they're if you see an old person's veins, you can really see their veins, and they said they're his veins are really dark, and you could see his veins. They weren't protruding or anything. And the lady, the other EMT tried to stick him and get an IV, but they said the skin just kept stretching and the needle kept missing. For some reason, the needle kept missing. So after a couple tries, she went to the other arm, and got a good vein. And she said she stuck the needle through, and the catheters on the needles. When you stick it, the blood will it'll show on the needle that you have it's called flash. You have a good flashback. So the part of the needle didn't get any. There was like no blood, and she stuck the needle. Blood came out, but there was no flash in the needle. So she tried to stick the needle in, and they call it fishing when they stick the needle in, and they try to get the vein. And she said she got it. She knows she got it, and there was blood that came out of the wound, but there was no blood that came out. And I believe he said at that time they do blood fills, so they fill catheters full of blood just to get blood draws. So she tried to fill it, and there was nothing coming out. Nothing came out into the tubes or anything like that. And they said, I remember him saying like when the blood came out, it was like really thick. The blood was really thick, and it sounded like it was already clotted. The blood was already clotted or something. But that was a weird thing. And then after a while, I guess the officers told them that they believed that person was a skinwalker. So on the way back, they were all like just kind of just left the person alone, and they didn't really speak to him because the person wasn't speaking, and the person was intoxicated, so it was weird. And I know like some EMTs, they say they don't really conversate with the people, or they don't really say anything to the person. I've known like 2 or 3 people that transported those skinwalkers before, but that's one of the stories that I was told. And then the next story, this happened a couple of days ago at Chinle in the hospital. Remember one of my stories I told you, like I saw somebody peeking out through some windows and they would hide, and then one of the other EMTs told me about the old lady looking at him, and during night shift. After he closed his eyes, opened his eyes, there was a lady sitting there staring at him. That's in one of the stories, but this kind of goes back to what these stories that we have. Of course, working in a hospital, like you see things and you hear things, and it's not just Chinle Hospital that happens. But one of the coworkers during the day shift, went to the restroom. She was handling her business, and she said she heard next to the one of the stalls open up, and she saw somebody walk past her while she was handling her business. And so right after that person walked by, she was done, and she said she noticed that person wasn't washing their hands or anything. There's people that do that. But she said she looked in, nobody came in, there was nobody in the restroom, she knows nobody was in there, and she knows she saw something walk by. She saw a person walk by, so she she was looking around in the restroom after she was done and didn't notice anything. And when she came back to the office, she goes, "This has never happened to me. I've never seen this before. I've never experienced this." And she's all like, she told us a story. She was, I was using the restroom. She saw somebody walk by, and she was, I just washed my hands and walked out, because where the restrooms at, of course, it's like a locker room. This is like the employee restrooms. There's restrooms are in the back, and then when you walk through the whole restroom basically, and there's showers, and there's lockers in there, and it's just one way in and one way out. And that's something that she told us. And I was saying, it's probably that old lady that's walking around, or the old lady that came in here and was looking at one of the EMTs. So there's a couple of stories for you guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'm trying to get back to everybody's comments. I get pretty busy, like I said. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, guys.